I am so old. Like, I may not look it, I may get ID'd all the time, but I am so old. I've spent most of this year reminding myself that I am so old. I hit 30. I remember meeting people for the first time on the internet 15 years ago. I met someone that I've known through LiveJournal for 15 years this year. The majority of audiences on YouTube for a long time were aged 13 to 16. Therefore, the major audience age was younger than the amount of time that I've been meeting up with people on the internet. That sounds wrong. I am old. I have been around forever. I feel like I've seen so many different stages of the internet as it's come and gone, and I've had so many different friends that I've made across the world as a result of it. This year alone, I've met up with people that I'd met back out in California 10 years ago, friends that I've known through sites like LiveJournal and MySpace over 15 years ago. I've been reminded of friendships and things like Time Hop have told me about the different things that I used to get up to 7 or 8 years ago, far away in a whole different kind of life. And I've hit 30 this year, and I'm just conscious of my age, how old and how much I've done in the time that I've been on this planet, and how much has happened even in the last year, and how long ago things feel like, how far away I feel from old memories, and how far away I feel from certain moods. And it's been encouraging, if nothing else, because it's nice to know that those bad times that you may have had in the past are going to just stay in the past. Even if they resurface, you'll have had so many other memories and other experiences in time and opportunities to grow and to become more of a well-rounded character, and to be able to learn from experiences and improve as a human being, hopefully, that those years just don't feel so bad anymore. To think of all the different things that have happened just in America alone in the last 5 years, let alone to think about all the things that have happened globally, and how much better the world is getting with various different things. How much as an individual I'm getting better. How much more understanding. 10, 15 years ago I was a confused Christian that was just basically taking everything as it was said, not reading into my own things, not doing my own research, just accepting what I was told. And a lot of faith is based around doing that. But then 10 years ago, I distanced myself more so from the church and things like that, because I started to be confused by the different things that they were sort of saying, but then not doing. Things like Jesus loves everybody, but not the gays and not the criminals so much. It felt really contradictory, very hypocritical, and it felt like a lot of the people that I saw at the different churches that I'd gone to as well were very much Sunday Christians. So on Sunday they were all on their best behaviour, but then you catch them at the other times and they're back to being ordinary people that, make mistakes all the time. And they just hide that on the Sundays as though they can, trick their God into accepting what they've done. And I just felt like people didn't understand what they were meant to be getting at with their religion. So I separated myself off from that a bit. 15 years ago, I started traveling by myself, started going to shows by myself, because I didn't want to miss the chance of experiencing my favorite songs being performed live, just in case the band never played again. And which I guess started from a fear of missing out. FOMO became a passion and one of the things that I'm really into, which is now traveling, music, and tour photography and things like that. It's just mad how life can be. So recently I had some friends over who I had met in California through message boards, which we used before things like Facebook and Twitter and all of that. We met at a show happening in California to celebrate MySpace turning 2. Now, MySpace hasn't even really been a thing for years, so the fact that it was when MySpace was turning 2 tells you that was at least 10 years ago. And that in itself just seems nuts to me, that we've been in the social media age for 10 to 12 years. This new thing, which everyone seems to take to so easily, has only been there for a fraction of my life. But it was cool. It was nice to go and meet up with them. I haven't seen them in 10 years, but we've been able to stay in touch thanks to things like Facebook, thanks to different sort of messenger things. Do you remember AIM, MSN, Facebook, Messenger? All of those different things have been able to keep our communication fluid. Things like YouTube mean that they could see what I've been up to with my life, and we could just kind of pick up where we'd left off. I took them to the British Museum, which is still one of my favourite museums. It's got so many things in there, so much culture and so much things to learn about, so many things that we've as a nation taken from other people and not given back, which just in itself feels very wrong. So much history of negative things portrayed in a positive light, but just so many things to show them. And I took them there and I showed them around, and we went for their first Nando's because social media talked about it so much that Americans suddenly think this is a thing that I have to try. They still don't know what a cheeky Nando's is, and I will leave them with that lack of knowledge. I don't think it's that important anymore. I'm just rambling at the moment. I'm just appreciative for all the years that I've had. Since turning 30, I've had a pretty good month. I've been sorting things out, and I've been reevaluating the way to approach things and the friendships that I have, and I've been working out where I need to be spending my time more and what I want to be doing with things. And that in itself has been pretty good and pretty refreshing for me, pretty helpful. I've been thinking more about what I want to do with this, and I still don't really know, but for now, whilst I'm working that out, I figured I would film that transition of my life, because if nothing else, it'll be advice for me to come back to again. And yeah, I hope you liked Charlie's video last week. That was really helpful for me, and I'm going to be learning and building on the things that she taught me in that. And I hope that any future guests that I manage to have come along and film stuff with me will actually give you equally useful things to help you with what you're doing, and equally myself, just so that I can improve constantly. I'm away at a festival this weekend. I might put this video up whilst I'm away on the festival. It's where I met my girlfriend last year. We've celebrated a year of being together. That flew by quickly. If you saw all the different things that happened leading into that, getting used to loving myself and being okay with being myself again, deleting things like Tinder and realizing that sites like that weren't going to be of any use to me, and that they weren't really all that healthy for me, because I was just going to be judging people based on their appearance, and I couldn't really connect to their personalities or see whether or not there was any kind of chemistry there besides typing online. And I think that in and of itself, that was signaling an end to a lot of things that happened as a result of the social media age, where suddenly it was a lot easier for people to go, well, I can see your face on a screen, maybe I know you. And really, you don't know people till you've met them. You see all these YouTubers all the time, and you don't know the real them. You know the person that they've put on the screen. And just like that, when you're going through something like Tinder or any of those sites, I feel like you don't really know them until you get to meet them. And sites like that also manage to just make people literally just straight back down to the basics of yes or no. And I don't know whether that's good or bad. It's probably good for other people, but for me it wasn't any good. So getting rid of that and reminding myself of all the things that I liked about myself, taking myself out on solo dates, just, I can go and see a film by myself and be happy and not be self-conscious. I can go to gigs alone again. I went through all of that and I was really happy with myself, and then I met my girlfriend. And I'm still very happy with myself. It meant that she wasn't coming in to fill a void in my life. She was coming in to join in what was already a good thing for me and to enhance that joy. And that's been a year, and it's been a very good year. And we're going back to the festival that we met at last year, and that's going to be fun, I think. I hope. I mean, Blue's on the lineup, and we all know that Blue are basically the best band that's ever existed, besides the Backstreet Boys, so there's that. I think I've seen Jurassic World far more times than any other man in this known universe, probably more times than Chris Pratt. It's a good film, I just really enjoy it. I saw Mad Max, that was really rad. I saw Magic Mike on the weekend for 4th of July, along with a whole bunch of parties and stuff like that. That was a great weekend, actually. Much better, the sequel was much better than the first one. Better pacing, better everything, really. It just worked better. It was funnier. They didn't spend too long just sort of going, oh, and then he did a drug, and the drug was bad, and now everyone's in trouble, and oh, the world falls apart. It just kind of started off like, yeah, things didn't work out in the last one, but you know what? Everything's good now. It's 3 years later. People are going to live their life. There's going to be some sad moments, but we're going to just basically go on a road trip and have a great time. And it kind of felt a little bit like Chef in some aspects, and a little bit like, all kinds of other things. I had a great time anyway. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend you go and see that. But I'm just rambling now. I just wanted to, say hello, mention that I'm older, that it's not so bad being old, and that, technology happened. I'm really grateful for the lasting, long friendships that we've had in the past. So, thanks for watching again. Do you like these kind of videos? Do you like the other kind of videos? What sort of stuff do you want me to be doing? Also, finish this line. John's so old that... dot dot dot. Comment, like, subscribe, all the rest of it. Love you. Bye.